All right, Devil's Details 14. Don't be lazy. It's been a little while, guys, since I've done one of these. Too long. Been doing some other stuff for a while here. I will say, though, going forward, after some comments I've gotten recently, I'm going to try and do one of these at least once a week. I'm going to try and do them either Monday or Tuesday afternoons. That's the plan right now. We'll see if I can stick to it and work it out. But that way it's a more regular thing coming out. And I think I've got enough information, enough content that I'm not just providing filler. There's a lot of useful things I still want to get to soon. So I'm going to try and do one on a weekly basis. We'll see how it goes. Devil's Details 14. Don't be lazy. And actually, before I get to that, let's talk about the deload week. We did our first deload week. It is, I think it was a pretty good success coming out of the gates. I got a lot of good comments on it, that people liked it. I think there's fine tuning I can do going forward. One, I think this is a new mindset for all of us at King William District CrossFit. We like to work out hard, and good. I don't ever want to dilute that. Having said that, yeah, I think we need to learn to be okay with maybe during a deload week or that kind of time frame going at 70%. And being fine with that for a few days in a row, a few workouts in a row. If you noticed, I put on the RX Plus option on a few of the workouts, especially earlier in the week, during the deload week. And if you did those, they were still pretty hard workouts. And I was doing that, as I said before, you guys know, I'm trying to meet everybody where they're at. And maybe somebody just got back from a long trip. Patrick is just getting back from being in Australia for a while. Maybe somebody's got a competition coming up. Seems like there's been a lot of people competing lately, and now's not the greatest time for a deload week. So I was trying to meet everybody where they're at and still provide an option to make those workouts hard. Having said that, I want to delineate that that's what that RX Plus option is there for, is for like maybe going more at a normal pace. And so I'm still deciding going forward if I'm going to put in the RX Plus option or not. I'm still debating on that. So if you have thoughts on it, let me know. But having said that, we'll do the next one. It'll be end of June is the next deload week. Working on some of those workouts right now, but talk to me in between now and then if you have thoughts. All right, so let's see if I can get to it now. Devil's Details 14, don't be lazy. What am I referencing? Well, first, let me say that I am talking to no one except myself when I say that. I'm talking to myself as a programmer. Another way of saying that with a more positive spin is make sure I'm taking full advantage of all the unique aspects that make the CrossFit methodology so wonderful. CrossFit makes you a fit athlete. And if you guys have listened to these, you've heard me use that term before, athlete, when talking about us, everyone at King William District CrossFit. Because I think it makes you more than just a fit person who's the boot camp champ. Or I think it makes you more than just the guy who has big round muscles that he can take to the beach and show off. It makes you someone who can adapt quickly to whatever physical challenges an active lifestyle may throw at you. And I think that is something that is unique to CrossFit. So let me say, first of all, the CrossFit pyramid, CrossFit fitness pyramid, at the bottom of that is nutrition. Gone over this before. The next level up is cardiovascular endurance. Then there's gymnastics. Then there's weightlifting on top of that. Anyways, the point of that is the basis is cardiovascular endurance. We all need to have a body that can efficiently move itself for an extended period of time, produce energy to do that work and recover from it and maintain. It is good for our heart, it is good for our circulatory system, all that. So that's the basis. So we need to be running and rowing and biking and doing the ski erg, all that kind of stuff regularly in a lot of different time frames, all that kind of stuff. Above that, with gymnastics, we need to be very proficient with basic body weight movements, squatting, sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, that kind of stuff. If you're at King William District CrossFit, you are never going to be too good. You are never going to arrive at a point where you are too good for air squats, or too good for sit-ups, or too good for a 500-meter row. And I say that because I've been around CrossFit a long time, and I've heard this occasionally from accomplished athletes. Why should I ever do a sit-up again? I should just be doing GHD sit-ups. I can do those. And the hubris there is offensive to me. But at the same time, or air squats. You know, I've got a 500-pound back squat. Why do I need to be doing air squats? You don't understand. You don't get it if that's your mentality. Again, CrossFit talks about virtuosity, doing the common uncommonly well, and there's nothing more common or regular than being able to sit down and stand up and air squat, and we can all get better at that for our whole life. And we all need to be doing those and refining our air squats, not just half-assing our way through them, but devoting mental and physical focus on getting better at air squats. So we will always do a lot of air squats. We will always do sit-ups, and running, rowing, biking will always be a regular part of the programming. It's needed by everyone. Everyone can do these things, and everyone should be doing them all the time. Having said that, they can be used as a filler. And I've seen this done from a programming standpoint, and it's a pet peeve of mine. You can easily make a workout, a 20-minute workout, and you throw in some 400-meter runs and a body weight movement and some kind of movement with an external object. And it's a fine workout. There's nothing wrong with that workout. And when you're traveling, that's an easy way. Combine one of those, whatever external object I have available, pick a body weight movement, do some 400-meter runs with it, great. You've got a classic CrossFit workout, that's wonderful. That can be abused though. And again, if we're just doing that, what separates us from boot camp? What separates us from Orange Theory? Not much, if that's predominantly what we're doing, especially nowadays that CrossFit has had an influence on all these other groups, and that's what they're doing. That's what I would call it, CrossFit soft. We're going to combine a monostructural and a body weight and a monostructural body weight and an external object, and just do that a lot. And that's great. Again, this is something we need to do a lot of. So that's why I said at the beginning, I'm not devaluing those things. But from a programming standpoint, you can get lazy. You can easily fill in some workouts on days with those. And while we need to do them regularly, CrossFit is so much more than that. CrossFit is constantly varied. And so if we're just doing mostly that, you take out that constantly varied part, it becomes much more similar to a lot of other ways of working out. And this is why in CrossFit, I think you can avoid plateauing, why you can keep the interest and the growth going for your whole life. Because there is this constantly varied aspect, and there's these athletic things that we're going to find that we can all get better at. So what am I referencing? What makes CrossFit unique? Let me give a couple of classic basic examples. I get people in the gym who have been working out. They've been active. They've been training in some way or another. And we go to do a box jump. And there's a pause. There's a little bit of hesitation. I don't know, because their only way to do a box jump is to go full send. I have to send my body up into space, and I don't know if I can jump that high. Every one of us at King Industry CrossFit, we know how high we can jump. We do it all the time. We know what we can easily jump on, what's a hard jump, and what is too high for us. But we can jump. And in civilized society, as a part of being a civilized member of society as an adult, you may not end up jumping for a long time or ever. You should be able to jump though. I will contest you should be able to jump easily without putting too much thought in it, and do it on a regular basis. Another one, I get people that have worked out regularly, they've been active, and the first time I ask them to kick up into a handstand, to get upside down, either they can't do it or they get all discombobulated. I get dizzy, I lose, I'm getting nauseous. I just can't think when I'm upside down. You should be able to think while you're upside down. You should be able to get upside down and handle yourself that way. Not everybody can do 100 handstand push-ups. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to be able to get upside down easily. And these are things that, as part of civilized society, again, we are not asked or required to do that. But to be an athlete, you should be able to do these things, because as living a part of an active lifestyle, you may be required to do these things. And even if you're not, I think these are abilities you should keep for as long as you can. You've heard me say this before, I'll say it again. All of our physical activities, attributes are a use it or lose it proposition. Take the average guy who was a great guy on his high school football team. It's been 10 years. He's got a couple kids. He's got a job. He's busy. He goes to the beach to play beach volleyball with his buddies. Pulls his hamstring, can't jump 10 inches off the ground. Man, I could do all this stuff before. Well, you can't now, and it's because you haven't done it. But there's no reason you shouldn't still be able to do it. This is what makes CrossFit unique, and from a programming standpoint, I have to make sure I never get too routine and we don't do this stuff often enough. And so it's just a little reminder to myself. I don't think this is something I do too often, but at the same time, I need to keep myself alert and make sure I'm never just easing too much, and I'll just throw in some more runs on this workout to fill up some time. If you go back to my episode on the beautiful people, when I was talking about the caveman and his lovely companion, and now that lovely caveman and his companion have a bunch of cave people running around together, and they go kill a woolly mammoth, and they've got to chop it up for meat, and they've got to fight off the wolves while they're doing that. They were required to do a bunch of jumping and getting upside down and weird stuff. We are not. But those are still skills that we need to have as athletes that are trying to be active in life. And so I'm trying to facilitate that. Being a triathlete will give you a very good cardiovascular base. It will not make you good at these other things. Going to do the row of body part machines at Lifetime may give you bigger biceps and a bigger chest. It's not going to make you good at these other athletic endeavors. They're not tested. They're not challenged. Being a powerlifting athlete it will not make you good at getting upside down. It may not make you good at jumping. CrossFit will make you good at all the things they are doing, and make you good at getting upside down, and make you good at jumping, and make you good at throwing stuff and moving around in space in weird ways. So, I think I've drilled this point home. That's enough. Devil's Details 14. Don't be lazy. Right on, guys. I'll see you next week.